Hi there, Crafty Peeps. Enis here, and I'm on today with another project share sponsored by pandahall.com. And today we are going to be featuring these really pretty chiffon flowers with the pearl and rhinestone centers. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to attach some flowers to a beadable keychain. So it would be one of these. But we're just going to build on the one that I'm working on right here. Now, there are a variety of ways of attaching the flowers to your beadable keychains. I'm going to talk about two today, but I'm sure there are other people that have plenty of other ideas, so don't feel obligated to do this project exactly the way I'm telling you, because if you find a better way, I'm just using what I have on hand. So anyway, let me just tell you quickly about PandaHall. They are a mail order company, and they sell beads, bead supplies, jewelry findings, wax seal products. I believe they also have some diamond painting, home dec items, stuff to do sewing projects, as well as some personal care items, and I'm sure much more, but those are the things I can remember off the top of my head. And anyway, I do have a coupon code for 10% off your first order if you decide to place an order for any of these products today, or for any products on their website for that matter. My coupon code is YXYTBEnis, and it is good until February 29, 2024. And if you do place an order and use my coupon, you not only will get 10% off, but I believe you may get a very nice sized canvas tote bag with the PandaHall logo on it, as well as a bundle of coupons. And also be aware that they are constantly running sales. So you may check something one day and it's one price, but if you check the next day or even later the same day, you might find an even better deal. So they have great prices, they have a huge selection, and I am just going to show you the product information for the flowers. So here is the product number there if you're interested in picking that up, and I will have the link in the description box below. And to the holographic faux leather, which I did use some in this project. I'll tell you where I use that. Here is the product information on that, if you're interested. Once again, the link will be in the description box below. And what I'm going to be doing today is using just a little bit of a scrap of the vinyl that I used left over from the bows that I made. And I'll also put a link to my bow video in the description box too, if you'd like to check that out, because in that video I also show you how to modify an existing design in Design Space for your Cricut machine, and give tips on how to be successful in cutting out faux leather on your Cricut. So that's that. Also, we're going to use some jewelry pliers, pair of scissors, hot glue, and just a couple of little jewelry findings here. I've got a 1/2 inch crimper and one jump ring there. So anyway, let me tell you what I did for some of these flowers. I'll give you a close-up here. So some of these flowers hang down lower than others, and what I did was I took a couple of snips of the faux leather and I wrapped it around the bases of the chiffon flowers. And let me show you what the base actually looks like. It's flat like this. You see it there? Actually, let me get a dark one so you can see. Okay, there we go. It's flat like this, and you're going to have to pinch it up in order to use it. And so what I did with the faux leather was I cut a little strip. Oh, actually, I'll just cut one and show you. I cut 2 strips like this. Let's see here. Just 2 little strips. And we're not going to actually put this together. I'm just going to tell you how I did it. And you're going to take one of your strips, you're going to fold it in half, put a little dot of hot glue in there, and then in the bottom of the flower, and you're going to push all of the petals out of the way, you're going to put some hot glue in here, and you're going to hot glue this here. And that's going to be your loop for hanging. Okay? So that'll be like that. And then also, you're going to take the other piece of faux leather, and I'll explain to you in a minute how to do it, but you're going to actually wrap it around this base so that it looks like this. Okay, so you're covering up all of that felt that was on the base of the flower. Okay, So once you accomplish that, and I used my hot glue gun for all of that. I made my little loop. I wrapped around the base of the flower with the other piece of faux leather, and then I was good to go. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the flowers themselves and which ones are the best ones to use for this project. So let me see here. First, I'm going to show you which ones aren't good. Okay, here's one that would not be good. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up there. So if you'll notice, the stitches on this come very close to the edge over here. Okay, so if you're going to do the faux leather wrapping, you would not want to use a flower like this, because what's going to happen is you're going to be pinching that up, and you're going to need to either nip off or pinch up those sides as well. But when there's a stitch in there, you can't, it won't push up. You can't get it to go up. And if you decide you're going to nip it off, well, if you nip it, you're probably going to nip the stitch. See the little stitches there? And then your flower is going to fall apart. So you're going to want to get a flower that has a base. Let's see here. Let me find one. Okay, here's a good one. So this base, you'll notice all the stitches are in the middle. Can you see that there? I know it's hard to tell because it's white thread on the white felt, but they're all in the middle. So that way, when you're gluing, you can glue this up, and you can glue those up as well. So you can wrap your faux leather around. Or if you glue it up and you decide to nip it off, you're not nipping off, you're not going to nip off any threads, so your flower won't fall apart, okay? So that's just a little tip about looking for the right flower. But since we found this one and we know this has got a good back, I am going to show you another method. So that one is if you want your flower to hang a little bit lower. This one is going to make it so that it's tight into the bunch. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, let me just push these out of the way, and I'm going to use my beading tools here. I'm going to squish all of my petals down, and I'm going to pinch the base upwards. Okay, and you want to make sure that you get both sides as close together as you can. Okay, then you're going to tape your little crimper and slide it on top of there. Make sure you're getting both sides, and you want to kind of be in the center. Okay, I'm a little bit off there, so give me a second to try to wiggle that around. Okay, so there it is, it's on there. So now I'm simply just going to take my pliers and I'm going to crimp it down. Okay, now you have another option here. You can either leave these little pieces hanging or you can nip them off. Okay, so let me see, what did I do on mine here? I think I nipped them off. Yes, I did. So I'm going to go ahead and nip them off. So once you're crimping pieces on there, make sure you pull down your petals so that you don't cut anything. Take your scissors and you'll see this piece hanging off right here. Make sure you don't cut into any stitches or the flower, and just nip that even with the crimper. Okay, so you see how that looks there now? And then turn it around and do the same thing on this side, and make sure you're not cutting off any stitches or cutting into your flower. So let me nip that one. There we go. So this is what you're left with. Okay, and like I said, I know there's probably other ways of doing this, but I'm using what I have on hand. You know, craft your stash, as they say. So now my flower is pretty much ready to go onto my beaded keychain. So anyway, I'm going to grab up my jump ring and I'm going to slip it through the little loop on the top of the crimper. So I have my jump ring on my flower here. Okay, and then I think I'm going to put my flower, I'm going to put this pink flower between these two white ones. So let me just separate them apart and look for a link in the chain that I can attach to. think here's a good one here. Just trying to get this in. I got so many flowers on here at this point, it's hard to see the links. Maybe that I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Okay. There we go. And then I'll take my other pliers and crimp them back together nice and tight. There we go. All right. So here is my keychain. And it looks like I got a big giant puffball on the top. Look at that. So pretty. Love it, love it, love it. Wouldn't that look pretty hanging off of somebody's purse? Yes. Here we go. So pretty. Looks like a giant pom-pom of flowers. There we go. Love it. So anyway, that is my little tutorial on how to attach the chiffon pearl and rhinestone flowers to your beadable keychains. Kind of a crazy way of going about it, but it worked with what I had in my stash. And anyway, maybe you'll try it out sometime. If you're interested again in the chiffon flowers or the faux leather, don't forget I have the links in the description box below, as well as a video to my faux leather bows that I made. That'll be found down below. And let's see, I think I'm going to see if I can find the link to the beadable keychains on Amazon. That would be very helpful. And don't forget about my coupon code, which is YXYTBEnis for 10% off your first order. And don't forget about the tote bag, I think is free to new orders, and as well as bundles of coupons. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will catch you on the next crafty video. See you later, crafty peeps.